Hi, this is Lynn Schnebley, and let's see if we can just put me on so that you can see me for a moment. Sure, I'm supposed to do this quickly, and I've been getting lots of prompts to please get my case off to Palm Beach County so that the information can come out. They need it in order to open up records globally, especially regarding what happened with Mr. Trump. It happened to me. I'm one of those people that were really hurt. So let's come into this for a moment and let's go back out. Just for Palm Beach County's sake, please know that I got another notice. This is a notice from yesterday. When I went in to have breakfast, this was sitting on my screen. This was actually done on the 31st. And so they asked that go up. I hadn't even taped anything by then. It was already sent out, and the 29th. This one was done on the 29th, but yesterday they were telling me that they took it. Let's see what happened today. So this was done yesterday on the 3rd, and here's what was done today. Let's close out of this. Let's see if I can do that. Here we go. So let's go now into this. So here we go. And this should be recording now. Let's see, are you recording? Must be. Here's this morning, and this one up here, again, the same thing went up there, but it's really for the 31st. Let's see if we can see what it is, details. Right, oh no, it was done on the 29th. And so none of this is true. I mean, they say that they've taken it, so they want this one to go to the one that was done on the 29th, and that's already online. Right, created here, modified there, that's it. So they've asked now 2 days in a row for that, so that's what will happen. Let's do this here. Now, are we here? What's happening? So we're just going to listen to this introduction because it needs to be done for me. Hi, this is Lynn Schnebley with Educating with Wisdom, and I am the ambassador for Heaven's Creating and Protecting Goddesses and Archangels Over Life. And I understand that both Mr. Trump, I should say both, all Mr. Trump, as well as the British, as well as New Zealand, and I'm not going for any of this for a reason. I had but they know that I have been held up and literally locked in. So I'm just now going to get something out to Palm Beach County within the next few hours, God willing. And thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus, for illuminating the truth. And this section is going to be about, I told them all along that I was being hacked into, watched, and that my life was being taken. So I'm going to introduce you to these people because they went after me. That was part of the group, as well as Meghan Markle, Barack Obama and group. And I know I need to make this quickly because for 2 days in a row, they have told me, powers of be, which one of all these videos they want Palm Beach County to get immediately. But okay. I have been fighting and working for women, but just people in general, and I've always hoped to be telling the truth. And when I make a mistake, I like to own up to it. In the last video that was there, it wasn't Sierra Lea, it was Sienna Lea. Sienna Lea has a dual personality. She was with Omniversity with Albert Weber. I was contacted by what seemed to be a party that was interested in what my prophecy was, how it turned out. And I believe that that person was probably, and I don't know if that's his real name, I will go into him briefly, but his name was Alan, pardon me, Alan Drews. And Alan Drews, before I go in online, Alan Drews is, I believe, to be part of the LBGT group. And years ago, I fought I went out on limbs to get protection from somebody who was being harassed, the director up in New Brunswick, and I was doing a theater. He was harassing people that smoked. I've never smoked. He was harassing girls that had her pants down too long and she leaned in and you could see her crack. He harassed them. And he harassed and made fun of and allowed to make fun of another young man who they said was gay. And I discussed it with a friend of mine who was there and ended up going up to the assistant dean to make a complaint, even though I was being hounded and harassed and had been hurt by that community. Because I said, look, as a Christian, you don't do that, and you talk to people and you can say something privately to them, and if there's a problem then you say something. As it turns out, this young man wasn't even gay. They were just harassing, homophobic banter, which I would never dream of doing. But having said that, and I've done this a few times, and I did this actually when I was in Palm Beach Central. I had a girl there who was a lesbian, and it came in my creative writing diary that she had been beaten up and things like that. When she put that to me, well, I immediately, got her services and sent her to the counseling department. And, I always did that, and I always would comment on what happened in the journal, trying to be as supportive as I could be without being supportive of that. I have always supported people as being human beings. I would never dream of going in and destroying their life. If they don't like what I'm saying, then please, by all means, come and talk to me. Don't destroy my life and try to kill me for it. But that's exactly what this community has been doing. And they've been doing it for 7 years. As well, my case in New Brunswick, as I mentioned to Mr. Mundy, not only were we looking at the Union of North America, which they covered up between 2001 onward, but we also look at the utter push of the LBGT community, and that was happening. And I'm just going to bring out the fraud, the sheer total misogyny. Because these people, I have priors on what was the Omni University, Albert Weber, and a person by the name of Sienna Lea. And I've already shown that she was part of a fraud and a hoax and all these things. But I want to show you that she has two different personalities. And so let's go into that. But before I do that, I want to show you Alan, because Alan befriended me. And then he turned around about 10 days ago and started taking everything off my phone, which has been, here we go. So he went through and he took everything between February the 18th off. Everything before. And then everything between the 18th and that day. And before that. So we're going to have all these things that are coming up. And, and I will discuss this at length later, but the prophecies of, I'm going to be quiet because I already have it. Okay, so let's go in here, and I just want to show you some of the things that they've been doing. And I have to do this for me, and then I can quickly put this online, and I can then write in peace the one for Palm Beach County, because then I will have finished this one up. That was the newest, just, the newest ones. One, Meghan Markle isn't really pregnant. If I'm going to be doing an introduction very basically. So this is these people. Go in and show you what I have here. YouTube. Hear ye, and they were extremely misogynistic. Here it is, and here it is. And let's see if there's one more thing here. I think not. Miss Sierra's, and I need to change this to, let me just do this very quickly. Is this still? Heavens, okay, I need to go and protecting goddesses and archangels over life. Is it still doing this? Let's just take a peek to see if rise, and I don't think it's going to be on, but rise, here we go. They weren't even up then. Last visited here. They don't exist. Let's see if they're on yet. Maybe they are. Maybe they came back up. Nope, they've been out since I found out about them. Support Rise University, Omniversity. Nope. Okay. So what happened is that there were all these pictures concerning Rise and people, and I'm looking at it and I'm saying to myself, gee whiz, it looks and it sounds like they've got men sitting in the middle of everything, and it sounds like it's homosexual. So let's go in and see who these people really were. I already have these things online, so I think it's just important to see. Let's start here. Open up, and we're just going to go through quickly. You can find this person on here, Sienna Lea, and remember I spelled it incorrectly. I put Sierra Lea on it. That's why I couldn't find her. This is really a man. And you're going to see where we have pictures. She poses being a woman. He counsels in some. As educators, we talk about the proper hooks in using the terminology. I'm thinking that they are related to Freud's in London. They do marketing, image, and many different things. I think they're related to Miss Lantham, who is now with Meghan Markle. That's that whole group, and part of them are working with editors in People magazine, as well as Mr. Scobie, as well as Marcus Anderson. They're all part of the same, that they just work together. This is not a man. I mean, not a woman. So here we go. Transforming the fierce feminine, an act. She took part of my work and misogynized it, trying to put a spin on it. I'm not, well, let's put this away. This is where you can find her, or we don't need to see that. Okay, here he is as Danny Marone. Now, when you look at it, let's make sure this is working. All right, so let's make sure that you understand that the lighting hits this differently, and the eyebrows are all part of a kind of mask. You can see where the mask changes here around his neck. So she has a dual personality. We have a different configuration. The nose has been added onto. This is actually, Meghan Markle has done this. She did it when she was in Monaco. She had a kind of mask that she was wearing. And what happens is that they fill in the neck here, and you can see where it changes down here. It's awful. That's not a particularly good picture. All right, there's another picture. Here we go. So you can see where the neck changes drastically in here. The eyes are different. She has similar eyes. The shading is very different that's going on in here. She's simply wearing a wig, or he's wearing a wig, or it's all part of the same piece. This is not real. And they simply added, that's a nose piece. Meghan Markle's, oh, yeah, here it is. This is like incredible. He lifted his neck back, and you could see it. So he plays both men and women. Wow. This is, and you can really see how this is a theatrical. That's what these, I mean, they're basically theatrical drag queens, and they are highly misogynistic when it comes to women. Here he has his alter personality, Danny Monroney, and he works with, his name is Albert Weber, and Albert Weber is a Canadian. He must be very active within the LBGT community, and I said it was the Francophones who are very active. But everybody take a look at this mask that this man is wearing in order to cover up his actual face. See, it fills in here. Meghan Markle has done the same kind of thing. I've pointed it out online, and I mean, this is just incredible. Oh, they're into, this is what Meghan Markle is into. I think she thinks she's an Aphrodite. All right, here, the mask is slightly different here. Do you see where it ends up here? I mean, it's like too much. And here it's different. He's got a totally different type of mask going on. There's the nose. He's got more of his forehead lines, but the mask does end up here, and there it is. It's really, wow, this is something else. Okay, so there he is. And by filling in the jowls and things like that, the nose, elongating the nose, coming down further along the lip, he changes the line, the hairline. And she has a lot of these lines going on her own head naturally. Let's see if we can find it. There's the mask. It goes around the eyes differently. The whole thing, it's just incredible what they do. Now, there she is, he is. I mean, there, oh God, it looks like a Groucho Marx. All right, here the mustache is actually even off, really. And it is really her hands, but he's wearing a kind of glove. So he's got this glove that's on his hands. And you can see when it's waving around, it's kind of plastic looking. And then her hands are long too. I tried to catch them. They're saying that this is Eisenhower's granddaughter. And she was online, or he was online. And I'm thinking that this Eisenhower's granddaughter is actually, gee, I don't know. Do you think this one who was also on that Rise Omniversity, do you think maybe this is actually a him? Saying all these things about abduction and going to Mars and all this crazy stuff. No, I don't know who this is, but that's who they say it is. Okay, this is a good picture. Looks like, see the mustache? Men's mustaches don't do things like that. The eyebrows, they're way up here. Look at this eyebrow is down here. This is so weird. It's just so weird. And this one's up here, and this is just false, and the mustache is over here, and it's, oh boy. Okay, so what I did is I looked at the eyes, I looked at this, yeah, that's what they do, okay. See, a man's mustache doesn't do, yeah, no. Right, okay. Oh dear. The dark queen transforming the fierce feminine shadow as an active. Okay. Well, there's the group. When you go into it, this is what we have now, maintenance. There was a whole, internet. They like to keep turning it off. Here we go. Then we found out that when they were discussing another thing, this was, I believe, September the 18th, Grenfell Tower. I've already said that the Grenfell Tower, it was Fire Trump. It happened on his birthday on the 17th, June the 14th. Here, they say that it began on the 13th and was going on the 14th. There has been no report that has said that it began on the 13th. Everything is said that it began on the 14th. And I said that this was, once I saw that a year later, I thought it felt really suspicious when I saw it. And once I saw that a year later, on the 14th, it then happened in Glasgow, and again, Towers, and again in London, again on his birthday. I said, bingo, that's his birthday. And then I went in to see if in the Grenfell, where the fire originated, if it had anything to do with Barack Obama or the Lion of Judah movement, or it would have been the Ethiopian king, anything like that, because that's all part of it's part of Black liberation. And sure enough, it happened in a room of a man, an Ethiopian man who would supposedly have been in the country for 25 years, and he has 2 women in there and he's kind of single. No way, no way. This is, I mean, God pointed a finger, and I actually have it online, which I'll show you. Let's see if I can do this here. Here we go. And when you start it, they do the most awful thing. Let's see if we can, oh, I'm going to go back here. And you can see that they put this terrible echo for everything here. And they did, let's see, so that people will want to give up and not listen to it. I have the finding of the Apollo, and they gave this to me on August the 31st because I knew that and as did most people, that it was fraud, but he had to make it real again in order to support
this to it so that people wouldn't listen, but you should go to listen because I put it on there.
The bombing, I should say the massacre of the Tree of Life. Now, I'm going to argue that he is.
So
I'm also going to argue
screwing
that
up
the
my
Christian
videos and
church,
turning them up
because
all
it is
over the place.
basically Apollo worshiping in content, it looks for... All right. They've done this in a few places, and let's come back in here. Here we go. I think this is what are we doing here? Let me just come out of this one. Oh, sorry, folks, I'm not, I should put you on pause. How do I do that? Right here. So what happened is that this too was a piece of fraud that they came up with that young man. Where did we find that? Oh, here, and when I saw it on my phone last night, I said, that young man is gay. Oh, yes, he is. And he goes by, he says, when he has to go, as you're reading this, there's like 3 minutes of garbage music that you have to listen to, or 4 minutes of garbage music that you have to listen to. And then after that, this person shows up, and I'm looking at it on my little phone, and I'm saying, that's another drag queen. Oh, my goodness. And so that's like all he works with. He works with a few women, but I don't know if he works with women. I think he works with men who pretend to be women. And he actually tells you that his name is Charles or Charlie. He's saying that the government is covering all this stuff up and they're not allowed to talk about it. They're not allowed to talk about it because Obama and the Lion of Judah and the homosexuals are all terrorizing people. This LBGT community and the African liberation movement in this. I mean, it's horrible what they're doing. So, plus, they never even link up that in 2018, it links to the fire where both towers go down. So there's a whole lot of gross shenanigans that's going on in this group. Oh, I just wanted to show you this. Let's make sure we understand what their agendas are. When you look at what they're saying about women in that other thing, and when you saw that, what the Omnivision, the Omniversity was about, it was really men really not liking women. It was very sad. It was, they just really didn't like women. This is, you know, I'm just showing you this because this is, I mean, it's here. And I said, because I know Serena Williams, I didn't pay much attention to her in the past, but I'm going to show you something that I sent because she forgot to put her boobs in. And let's see, Serena Williams. Here we go. Now, she doesn't have her boobs in there, and here she's very white. I mean, she's much lighter. That other picture shows her darker, and the men online have pointed out that that was all photoshopping that occurred. But her boobs are not these big boobs that she shows, and none of this is proportional whatsoever. This is a completely photoshopped picture. And they said it's very easy to do this, that that you simply get another body and put a face on it. Because this is, her boobs are much bigger than, and she's much darker here than this one. That's a very big difference. Then up here, she forgets, she forgets to put her boobs in. Wait a minute. I did that one. Is this it? Here we go. When the plane went down and when the people were killed in New Zealand, I knew that that was a setup, and it's on my phone. So all these things are prophecies that they know about. I went in to see what her injury was about. When I said, Lord, please out all these people, and just out them, and it's on my phone, I have it online, that's when she began canceling playing. These are the different sorts of face things she's done. She did not have a scary childbirth. Wow, that's really not a woman. Okay, this is the before and after, and you can actually see in another picture, but you can't see it here. You can see the outline of, this is 2010. You can see the outline of, who's that? Okay, this is stretched because she has an implant put in. So that's not really her. It's all stretched. And here her boobs look differently. And she has needle marks from having fat deposited in here. So if you remove all of that, the men online, and I didn't know to do this, not only were they looking at her shoulders and the fact that her arms just drop like a man, as well as her tantrums, but they were saying this is where her waist breaks, and she doesn't break where a woman would normally break. And then she has this thing here sort of covering stuff up, and she has that in a few places. See, this is all surgery. So where's the needle marks? Misogyny, men who hate women. All right, I want to put you on pause for a moment. They're taking over like women's sports and kids in school and going into our bathrooms and going into our prisons and hacking into your life and abusing you online. Here she has these really big boobs. She has implants on her butt. Opens up about embracing her large boobs and butt. Photos. Well, I mean, she has implants. But she forgot to put her boobs in. That's a big thing. She forgot her boobs. Look at this. What is that? Folks, who is this person? That's not really huge boobs. Who is this? They have taken so many things off. Let me see if I have them. I want to show this. I'm asking here. I mean, now that I see this, I just have to tell you. I mean, I have to show you. This is completely photoshopped. They're growing out of each other's arms. This is Meghan Markle. I mean, this whole group is incredible. This is completely photoshopped. This is an imposed body. Look at the cutout of the hair. Look at the background. It's rotated out differently. These arms are gross. They're not even there correctly. They're two different sets of arms that belong to. I don't even know what that is. But the whole rotation is different on this. She didn't do any of this. This is in her book. In fact, I'm questioning now whether or not she was ever pregnant, period. I'm asking what is on Serena Williams' crotch. What is this? Because it's not a napkin. And if you had your period, you would know enough not to wear a suit like that. I mean, nobody would wear a suit like that. Look at, now she has her boobs. He has his boobs. Everything is photoshopped. Again, This isn't here now, so they managed to Photoshop that one. Wow. You can kind of, but I'm not trying. And look at, they make it look like she has these huge boobs. She does not have these huge boobs. What is this? This is no woman entrepreneur. Look at that. Where are the boobs? That's her sister. They're saying that he could be a boy too, but I don't know that. I mean, the Obama girls. Hold on. I really just take, what is this? I mean, folks, what is this? What are we looking at here? And they're in our sports. And you're not allowed to say anything, but they can abuse your life, go in and take it over and take over everything because they are highly misogynistic. There's something going on here. I've seen crazy things about Mrs. Obama that I said to myself, this could be photoshopped, and I'm not even going to, I'm not going to worry about it, except my life was so attacked. And I'm going to end with Kill Whitey, and you will understand what this is about in a moment. She's sort of, her children look like they're friends, couples. But there is a catsuit like on underneath it, and I'm sorry to take my cursor. We know that our traps are really high. I used to be a massage therapist as well. But there's something here that isn't right. It's not her tummy. If it was her tummy, it would fill in everything. It's not her leg. See, if it was her tummy, it would go straight across and it would fill in her tummy, but that's not her tummy. Yeah, that's not her tummy. And it's not her side. And it's not right. And there's a leg, and there's a leg over here. And if it was her tummy, it would fill in all of that. And she's sort of hiding behind her husband, and her daughter's sort of looking in the other direction. And hey, folks, this is what. And this really does look like they're friends. It doesn't look like anybody in their family. Wow. Yikes. Now I'm going to show you something, the Kill Whitey, in case you think I'm really odd. And it isn't just African American men. There is, hold on. I know you want me to get the thing out to Palm Beach County. I just have to do it. I'm so sickened by, I've worked so hard. Right? This is a false face. This isn't even her face, and it isn't even her. This is like a mask, but it's not Meghan Markle. And in fact, when she was in Morocco, he joked, oh, you're pregnant? Really? And, oh, is it mine? Because no, it isn't. And wouldn't it be something if it was Mrs. Obama's baby, who's actually another Mr. Obama? That would be something. So men who hate women in a world who hates women with them. This is not fair. Again, so I want to point out that this is not just something that's going on with African Americans. Those other people were white men who went after me. These are, wow. And they're going into women's prisons, and wow. You know, that face sort of looks like the face that was Eisenhower's daughter, doesn't it? It kind of look like her face. I think so. I wonder if that was Eisenhower's daughter with that kind of curly hair. Wow. I mean, Eisenhower's granddaughter. I wonder if that was really her. It kind of looks like her. Boy, I'm seeing some interesting things here. Let's put that on pause for a moment. No, I don't. I don't think they're the same. Although I have to question, as soon American Alchemist, what kind of a thing is this? More pictures. Before I finish, her parents, Susan Eisenhower, who's her father? She didn't have of course she has a father. Grandparents, John Eisenhower, Barbara Eisenhower, Uncle David Eisenhower. These people, Dwight D. Eisenhower, that was her great-grandfather. Where's her dad? Well, that doesn't make much sense. She doesn't have a father. That doesn't make any sense. Of course she has a father. See, there's something not right here. Parents, of course she has a father. It's a mother. Anyway, I need to finish this. Huh. Well, that's interesting. She was married to him as an American in plasma physics and a former director. When I first started contacting and I spoke to the FCHR in 2015 and 2016, I specifically asked, and I'm looking in my room to see if I can find plasma, because I figured that if they could place plasma into a room, you wouldn't see it, but it would be able to capture and hear. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. And it doesn't say when she actually, this is a very interesting person. Wow. And there's no click on any of this for her. Something is not right in Shimola. No, that is not this person. I was wrong. Sorry, I was wrong. So let's go out of this, and I want to end with this. Let's go out of here, and I want to show you this. Oh, I hope I have this here. Put it on. Here we have a Kahinda Wildly. They are flipping. And he was the African-American artist who is, I guess, a single son, also gay. And as soon as I saw this picture and I saw them together, I thought, oh no. In 2017, I was harassed because when I went out to start protesting the Meghan Markle deal that was happening on August the 31st, they sent me Miles Markle and he harassed me. That's when you had the series of 4 hurricanes, and it happened 5 days after. I'm going to go into that in my introduction. So here he is with all of his flowers in the Garden of Eden. They think it's like a 6 finger. I don't know what this means. But He did his whole Kill Whitey scenario, 2012 through 2018. And I'm asking, is that Michelle Obama and Duchess Kate? Virtual imprisonment, cyber attacking, OBing, burying her work, her and her work, stealing, and Satan can read minds. Here we go. So that same man in 2012 did 2 portraits called Kill Whitey. And he is allowed to do this as an African-American gay man. He's got his little triangle thing going on with his hands. He's so arrogant. And here she is killing this woman. Are they something? So I figure there's this whole LBGT, especially African-American LBGT, that just really wants us gone. And they want to take everything that is ours because they believe it's theirs. Yeah. So it doesn't matter. And the FBI, and because of all of the terrorism that they're involved in and because of everything that they have, they've been able to get away with all of this. He's done drugs. I've got to remember to do this in the introduction. It will be men that take down that whole tree of life thing. They won't need it. See, I even have this thing about the queen bee. I've discussed it for years. I actually wrote a paper on it. It will become the normal woman. There's so much that's here. So I'm just going to leave that there. Thank you. And let's come in and do this. Go. All right, guys. I know I have to write to Palm Beach County. I know.